Hey everybody, we're back, and we just had a little hiccup right there um, with the live stream. So I will just be doing a preview of the Dallas and Boston series.
Remix, it's time for WNBA.
Makes the playoffs, do whatever it takes.
The Celtics have finished the sweep.
Makes the playoffs, do whatever it takes.
The Celtics have finished the sweep. Drive for banner number 18 will continue.
We got to earn our spot into the NBA Finals.
Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving show again.
Boston's in the way in between our goals.
Puts it up.
As a kid, that's what you dream of. Play against the best of the best with the whole world watching.
Fires up the three. Stepping back for the win.
Everybody has the same goal, trying to win a championship.
Hello, it's your favorite sports thug here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. Some, to be on the hot, will say just got put. Have to be. Boston's been there before, like being the underdog, or you're gonna make Ocho cry. Jason Kidd says the Mavs like being the underdog. Kidd said, we like the underdog role. We have to be. Boston's been there before. We're just a group of guys that some people say just got put together and will play on the playground. It's cool to see this group come together for a short amount of time and believe we got a great group of young men. Kidd was thought by some to be on the hot seat in Dallas despite taking the Mavs to the Western Conference Finals in 2022. Ocho, do you believe the Mavs are the underdog?
I mean, it's hard to say that the Mavs are the underdogs. Obviously, I've been paying attention to the Mavs throughout the playoffs. They're playing really well with Kyrie and Luka arguably being the best backcourt duo in a very, very long time. I don't see them as underdogs. I respect Kidd for trying to keep his team humble, trying to keep his players humble, but they are definitely not the underdogs. I think it's based on preference as far as basketball fans go. Some will probably pick Boston, some will probably pick, the Mavs as the better team. But, based on the odds and what Vegas is saying, what you think? Because you know better than me. But underdog, that's come on now.
No, but the Boston's been the betting favorite to win the championship all year. Now let me take that back. They were second behind the Nuggets.
Right.
Then they jumped the Nuggets run back. So they've been no worse than probably third all year as the betting favorite. And considering they've been there before, this team has been together. They get they've been a very good defensive team. They led the league in three-point attempts. They led the team in three-point makes. They got two outstanding defenders on the perimeter, Derek White and Drew Holiday. Holiday was that additional piece that they needed. They can switch 1 through 5. That's why they don't really like to trap or double team or try to get the ball out of someone's hand. That's going to be very interesting to see how this series plays out. Because we saw Minnesota didn't want to trap and didn't want to blitz a guy. And they let Luka play one-on-one. You saw what happened. You let Luka play one-on-one. You let Kyrie play one-on-one. But I can understand because Boston has been here before just 2 years ago in the NBA Finals. another 2 more years of experience.
Right.
I can understand. I see why they are the favorite. I expect an extended series. I don't think it's going to be a 4-game series either way, Ocho.
Right.
I took Boston at the start of the playoffs. So with that being said, I think I'm gonna just ride with them. But would I be surprised if the Mavericks won? No. Would I like to see the Mavericks win? You know, everybody knows how I feel about Luka. Kyrie, man. When Kyrie was on Cleveland, man, he was sensational. I hated to see him go. That was,
Yes, sir.
I'd love to see him and Bron stay together and see if they could win more than one. But he needed to leave. He needed to spread his wings and grow. And boy, has he grown. But yes, I can see why Boston is the betting favorite.
Yeah, I mean, listen, from what I saw, I love Boston, but when they're off from three, they are off.
Yeah.
Luka and Kyrie I think they can do a little bit more as opposed to what Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown could do. Phenomenal players. They play well together, but Kyrie and Luka is special. Kyrie and Luka is special, man, based off what I've seen so far. And the small sample size of basketball I've been able to enjoy and watch so far this regular season and postseason, I got the Mavs. I got the Mavs.
You taking the Mavs?
Yeah, I got the Mavs winning.
Man, how you gonna take the Mavs now? You don't bet against them against OKC. You bet against them against the Timberwolves,
right? And
now you go ride with them.
Well, listen. Because I was betting with emotion. I was going with emotion. My love for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and then obviously Anthony Edwards is his aura, his personality is similar to that of mine. It's very reminiscent of myself when I was playing. The trash talking, the banter. He's just a fun guy, and he's good at what he does. So that is why I picked the Mavs. I was going off of emotion. Now I'm using logic and common sense, which is why I'm going with the Mavs to win this series. I think a lot of people probably won't even agree with me. They probably won't agree. But
yeah, I mean, I can see Ocho because, like you said, you look at Kyrie, you look at Luka. You got two guys we know on a given night. We saw that two guys go for more than 35 in the same game. That's the first time that happened in a closeout game. Since Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah.
So you got to go way back. You got to go 20 years. The last time that happened. So it's not a normal occurrence. It's not very many guys that can go get you those kinds of buckets. We saw who was that? Kyrie and LeBron go get 41 apiece in a game 5 against the Golden State Warriors.
Right.
Kyrie is sensational. He pick and chooses. He normally lets Luka gets going, knowing that I can get my shot anytime because I really need Luka to get going. Once Luka gets going, normally in the first quarter, Kyrie says, okay, now it's my turn. The second quarter, he normally takes it. And the thing that I love about Luka, and I think they play really, really well together because it's kind of like JT and JB. They kind of the same guy. They kind of play the same position. I know they list JT maybe the 3 and JB the 4 or vice versa. But they're kind of the same, kind of like Luka and Kyrie. Both of them are guards. Normally a big and a little play better together. You saw Kareem and Oscar. You saw Kuzma and Russell, Shaq and Kobe, D Wade and Shaq. Normally that's how it works. But to see two guards to play like these guys play together, it can go get buckets. We've seen guards, backcourts play together, but it's been very few guards that can go get you buckets in abundance like both of these guys can.
Yeah.
Both guys can go get you 40, 50 points. Both guys can shoot shoot with great efficiency. But it's going to be a very interesting series, and I can't wait to watch it. I just want to see game 1. Everybody's been off for over a week, Ocho. So it's going to be okay, feeling each other out. We know Boston now. That first game is always kind of, Indiana had an opportunity to take that first game.
Yeah. And I don't
Man,
think
if Indy
the Mavs
had that
will
first
fumble and
game,
make the mistakes
all the what ifs
that the Pacers did in that first game.
Was this really
And I
Indy's
think
year is the
if
question.
Luka
If they took game 1, it would have been
start, like he did in game,
would have been
was it
interesting.
game 5, like to end everything.
But
enough
about
game
Indy.
5.
Man, he had
Dallas and
22 in the
Boston.
first quarter. And if he start off that first game like that and he get any kind of rhythm or any kind of confidence going, boy, it's gonna be a long series. It's gonna be a long series, especially if if
gonna be
the
a long
Celtics aren't
series.
shooting from the field efficiently, especially from
Yeah.
three. And I know
we
you
have
said the Celtics have two good perimeter defenders, and they don't like the trap and they don't like the double
So
team
how do
and
I
all
get
that
one of
stuff.
these pimp
Well, hell,
outfits?
adjustments are going to have to be made because you're
Yeah.
playing against two players that you're going to have to trap, that you're going to have to double team. So I would hope they not come in the game with that same ego. Not ego, but you know what I'm saying. Just we're going to
Yeah.
stick to what we do and not change based on regards to who we're playing. You can't do that.
They haven't faced two guys like this. What I want to see is the matchup. Do they go Jaylen Brown starting off on Luka and then take Holiday and kick him to Kyrie,
Right.
and then take Derek White and have him on PJ Washington.
Washington, yeah.
I kind of want to see how Joe Mazzulla uses lineup, because obviously we know Al Horford is going to deal. He's going to start with Lively. That's where he's going to go. But it's going to be interesting to see Daniel Gafford to start. So Horford to start on Gafford. Tatum probably take Derek Jones. I think Tatum would take Derek Jones. No, take PJ. And then Derek White will take Derek Jones.
Right.
I think they start with that and then see how it plays. And if Jaylen Brown can keep Luka somewhat under control, as long as he's not efficient, Ocho. If he shoots 30 shots and get 28 points, I've done my job.
Right.
I've done my job. I just can't let him do what he did to Minnesota.
Yeah.
He's getting 35 on 22 shots. Can't let him do that.
Yeah.
I can't let him go 6 to 10 from the three. I can't let him do that. So as long as I keep him somewhat under control, but in the process of keeping him under control, how much does that take out of me?
Yeah, I mean that's the difficult part. And then based on what you said, we're not going to change our playing style, especially when it comes to playing defensively. We're not trapping. You got Kyrie, you got Luka that can put the ball on the floor and they can create space for themselves. They can create their own shot. If Luka wants to shoot from three, he's going to create the space to be able to shoot the three. If he wants to put the ball on the floor and he wants to drive to the basket, he's going to do that. Especially if we go into the game playing like that, we're going to stick to our guns and do what we've been doing the entire regular and postseason, and we're not changing because these two are supposedly the best in the backcourt. I mean, if they do that, I think it would be asinine. You have to make the adjustments based on who you're playing.
Porzingis, you know what? Porzingis, that calf will probably be well, so Al won't start. Porzingis will start.
Right.
So it'll be Daniel Gafford on Porzingis. And then when Porzingis goes out, Al Horford comes in, and so obviously the bigs will match up. That we know the bigs. The bigs are going to match up. Whoever the bigs are for Dallas will match up with the bigs from Boston, vice versa. The interesting thing is how do they deal with Kyrie and Luka? Who's going to be the matchup? Does Jaylen Brown take that assignment? Because Ocho, have you ever worked out so hard, Ocho? You get done working out, you ain't even hungry. Like, I just want to rest. I don't even want nothing. And that's the thing you ask Jaylen Brown. Because Luka's going to make
Kyrie going to bring out his special sauce
Luka is physical enough
series.
to play through the contact. The question is early on, see how they officiate the game.
Right.
Do they let them play? Or if they let them play, that favors Boston because Luka's going to start looking. He's going to start doing this. He's going to wanting the calls.
Yeah.
And that's what, Jason Kidd, that's what Jared Dudley, that's what they try to keep him from doing, bro. Just play.
Yeah.
The call, you're going to get the calls, but we don't want you getting out. We don't want you getting out of hand. All you're doing is trying to expect calls.
Right. Yeah. Just play ball. The calls are going to come. Yeah. They're going to come.
So I'm anxious to see it. I can't wait.
Don't wait for the calls. Just ball.
A whole week, Ocho.
Yeah.
Before we saw him back.
I've been struggling. Listen, soccer's over. After Champions League yesterday, there's hockey on. Obviously, I'm watching the Panthers. I'm watching the Oilers, watching a good friend of mine, Connor McDavid, watching him play, watching a little bit of baseball. I see the Yankees are playing well.
Aaron Judge.
Hey, listen,
and Soto.
Hey, and Juan Soto, they playing really well. And I'm watching
Giancarlo Stanton, but it's early. He probably like.
Listen, Stanton got 14 home runs so far this year.
Yeah, but he wound tight, Ocho. Them hamstrings and rib cage muscles. He start pulling stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's enjoyable. And obviously the WNBA games, man. Hey, 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 boy. And I told you, but, I don't want to get off track. We'll get to that. Go ahead. I want to get off track because I get to talking. I just don't shut up.
Also,
That was a good rundown of the Dallas and Boston series, but let's look a little closer. So in the two season games that they played against each other, Dallas won 119 to 110. Let's check out the box score. Tatum had almost a 40 burger, Brown with a 30 bag, and the rest coming in with their assistance. And then on the Dallas side, we had Doncic with 30 and Kyrie with 20. Kyrie with 2 steals. Wow. Doncic, 18 rebounds. But this is a totally different Dallas team right now. They got Gafford and PJ Washington. They truly can spread the floor and also defend at a high level. This was game 1, and now in game 2 there was bigger victory for the Celtics. Not so close this time. Luka Doncic with almost a 40 burger, and on the Boston side again, Tatum just murking things. I think Tatum really has a point to prove. Has a point to prove to Kyrie in this little rivalry that they have going on. I can see it when I see them play against each other. And Kyrie used to play for Boston, so Kyrie left on bad terms with Boston, and now he has a shot to get back at Boston because they treated him really bad on his way out. But this is his chance to not only get back at Boston, but to cement his own legacy in not needing LeBron to win a championship. And Tatum also has a big moment here to cement his legacy by getting his first chip. So let's see what happens. I see a very competitive series. The Mavericks are a totally different team than these two, than the ones that suited up in these two games. So let's check out the game cast here. We got the total sitting at 214. This is far lower than the totals in the season games. Let's see what Kyrie has to say here.
I will say, last time in Boston, I don't think that was the best. Not this regular season, but when we played in the playoffs and everyone saw me flip off the birds and kind of lose my a little bit. That wasn't a great reflection of who I am and how I like to compete on a high level. It wasn't a great reflection on my end towards the next generation on what it means to control your emotions in that type of environment, no matter what people are yelling at you. I'm built for these moments to be able to handle circumstances like that. And I've been able to grow since then. So, of course, it's going to be a hectic environment, but I'm looking forward to it. And I see it as a healthy relationship to have with the fans. I almost think about Gladiator, just win the crowd over. It's good to hear the TD Garden silent when you're playing well. They still respect great basketball. So regardless of, the attention that's being paid to what it's going to be like on my end. I have a group to lead that's going to be looking to me for a voice of peace and to be able to control what I can control and also help them through it. So I'll take the brunt of it, of all the yells and stuff like that and all the remarks, but I've been able to grow since then and acknowledge that, I just can handle things better, especially when I want to put majority of my energy towards playing well. I can't just be getting into it with fans like that, even though it may be fun at times, but it's a waste of energy, it's a waste of my time, and it's also a waste of my talent trying to answer questions from the past that people have. And people are going to bring up the record and all the extra stuff. Again, there's idle time in between, so you see the media pundits doing their normal thing. It's cool. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the challenge on the court against the Boston Celtics and being able to lead my guys.
See those two coaches playing right now as they get ready for this series on Thursday?
I wouldn't be surprised if Missoula started the series with a lot of switching. And I say that because the more you switch, the less there's weak side help.
What's that mean? What's that mean?
The Celtics are on a 5-game winning streak. The Mavs have won 4 of the last 5.